Hey, welcome back. This is let me just tough talk with Mac. All right, and today is going to be part two of vaccine mandate, a follow up to my most recent YouTube post from 2 days ago. Um, so part two is about following the money. What is the motive behind changing the rules and moving the goalposts? With a short time period and short deadline in place. And I said, my previous post, I said this should be looked at and it should be discussed, looked at, and to find out if there's anything there. It's either political or it's money. Now, I did some research and I actually saw some fact checkers' responses to other people's questions and other people's posts. So people were posting that Dr. Fauci owns a financial stake or part of the patent for the COVID vaccine. And they said Bill Gates owns COVID vaccine rights also, a patent also for the COVID vaccine. Well, during their fact checking, they determined that that's not true, but Dr. Fauci, as director of the NIH, uh, subsidized entity that's paid for by US tax dollars, he does hold multiple patents and a whole bunch of different uh, research ideas and methods for various other vaccines and treatments and technologies and research. So he has a financial stake in those. Bill Gates does hold patents for parts of material that's used for other vaccines. Now, one thing that the fact checkers found out was that there are 4 scientists, doctors in the NIH who do have skin in the game. They do have a financial uh, stake in the patent for coronavirus vaccine. Now, the fact checkers say, well, you know, they're under obligation to only be paid $150,000, no more, a year for their stake in the patent. But these scientists are paid for by American dollars. The NIH is funded by taxpayer money. Where could I get a gig like that where other people pay me money to do research and then I get to profit off the research that other people have paid me to do the money for? First of all, for the Warp Speed initiative, nearly almost $500 billion was funded to all these big pharmaceutical companies so they can speed up the process of doing their research. And they're going to reap in billions and billions of dollars in profits off of taxpayer money, taxpayer dollars that funded their research. How about this? How about the American people have a financial stake in all those NIH patents? How about the American people get the lion's share of the profits that Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson are going to make with the coronavirus vaccines that they put out? After all, American people, American taxpayers funded the research. Let them have a stake for producing it and supplying it. They become like the wholesaler. But American people, the U.S. Treasury, should reap the lion's share rewards. It's just, I find it just appalling that we're allowing this to happen, that we're allowing people to have so much control and influence over us who have a financial stake. Now you have to question. So they couldn't prove that Dr. Fauci has a stake in the specific coronavirus vaccine that's distributed by Moderna. But they did prove that he does hold patents and financial stakes in other vaccines, in other treatments and research from the NIH. That is ludicrous. That's wrong. The guy got paid by us Those scientists got paid by us. The research is funded by us. The American taxpayer should be the one reaping those benefits. And where does Bill Gates get off having all this influence? So now we have to question the motive behind the mandate for the vaccine because there is a financial stake involved. Okay, if there was no financial stake involved, I doubt we would probably have this mandatory vaccine mandate. I really doubt it that much. But you have to, just like with everything else, you got to follow the money. You got to see where it leads you. So what happens if, now I know with a lot of scientists work for universities and research labs, they get paid salary, and if they have a discovery, they get to share the patent, but usually only about 20-25%. The rest goes to the university or research lab because they're paying the salary and they're funding the research. The same should be done here. Okay? You want to give them a little piece of a little bonus for coming up with something? Great. I'm all for that. But they shouldn't have that big financial stake that they're going to reap. Now you have to question why. Oh, and incidentally, all three pharmaceutical companies are on the verge of pulling out or pushing out their version of ivermectin. Okay? Now, ivermectin is that, CNN wrongly stated that Joe Rogan was taking a horse dewormer, but he was taking a human version of ivermectin, and they knew it, but they purposely pushed a false narrative just to try to tarnish him and taint him and discredit him, but it backfired on them because they actually lied. They had their medical expert, Sanjay Gupta, on Joe Rogan's show, and he had to admit, yeah, it is wrong for them to say that. They should have did better research, and they shouldn't have said that. Obviously, you got a prescription from a licensed doctor. So now we know why, because Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson are coming out with their version of an antiviral, just like ivermectin. But different is that ivermectin, the patent ran out. Those doses, they literally make maybe 30 cents, 40 cents on a dose. But Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer and Moderna, they don't want to make 30, 40, 50 cents on a dose. They want to make, $300, $400, $500 on a dose. So money is a big motivational factor. Money really corrupts some people. And whenever there's questions about that, and this is what really appalls people. This is why people are disgusted with this whole thing. And this creates a lot of suspicion when there's no transparency, when they're not forthcoming with their statements, and there may be a hidden motive. So I still say, look further, find out exactly what Bill Gates has involved with the specific coronavirus vaccine, with Moderna or Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson. Find out exactly the involvement that the NIH has with those three companies with the vaccine. Because if you dig a little further, you'll find out, just like Fauci has patents for other vaccines and treatments and discoveries, you'll find out that there may be a lead there somewhere, that there may be an attachment there, there may be some involvement, and he may have skin in the game. The jury's not out yet. The jury is still contemplating this, okay? So it's not the jury didn't come back with no true bill yet. So we got to figure out what their involvement is, because they really changed the rules. A week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, the rules were changed, and Bill de Blasio in New York City changed the rules, and it really doesn't make sense, folks, to give an example of the hypocrisy and the contradiction. The police commissioner stated that the October 29th deadline, 5 p.m., was going to be moved back to Monday, November 1st, 5 p.m., because he wanted the same police officers that he's willing to lose on Monday. He wants them to work the holiday, the Halloween weekend, and the Halloween details because he needs them. But he's willing to let them go Monday because the unvaccinated cops are a danger to the public. But they're not a danger to the public over the weekend when he needs them. That's the hypocrisy involved, folks. So listen, keep an open mind with this, okay? Don't be swayed by these partisan, people with agenda, programs with an agenda. You know, open your mind and question. It's it's American to question, okay? You need to question. There's nothing wrong with questioning. A free and independent mind is one that questions, public policy, one that questions authority. So you need to question authority. Okay, you do it the right way, but you question authority. Ask the why question. Ask the follow-up question. But questions need to be asked, and they need to be followed up. And we need a courageous investigative reporter to really dig deep and look at this because a lot's going on here, and people are pissed off. Listen, tell me what you think. Please leave a comment. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to release another video tomorrow, and the video tomorrow is going to be the age of chivalry. What happened to the real men in society? Is chivalry dead? Okay, that's going to be an interesting one. All right, so please like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment. I like to go back and forth and see what you guys have to say. A lot of you may not agree with me, so let's find out what's going on here. But I think I'm onto something. I think if you keep digging, you'll find more involvement with the money part, with the people who have skin in the game with this, okay? And maybe that's the motive behind all these mandates. We'll see. So have a nice day, and till next time, this is Tough Talk with Mac, and drink some coffee, okay?